Salutations, my cagers, and welcome back. This is part 2 to the Gotham Knights review video. I'm your host, Vibratory Light, and right now we're starting off with Brave and the Bold, because I cut him off last time in the last video. Anyway, on to the show.
The problem with his ability is that the jump doesn't do much for enemy takedowns as you pass them, and going from building to building is a problem because your mechanics make you easily descend and your leap burns out as you're almost on the ground. The only thing more annoying than not having a real unique way of traveling through the city is giving Jason this clunky jump ability without ever thinking what Jason would really be special in. And this jump ability, though original, needs fixing. It really needs to be changed. I thought about it for a while and I know what they could do. In pure Red Hood style, I think Jason should have just had the Bat Cycle, or really his own specialized motorcycle for transport and traveling the city. A customizable motorcycle to upgrade as time went on as you level up. I really think that they should have not added that traversal mechanic, but the developers were so busy trying to make each character unique that these travel bits kinda got lost in the sauce. And they didn't hone in on the good aspects of these characters and make their traveling through the city more dynamic, but kinda boring and lackluster. Red Hood's mechanic is by far the worst of the bunch.
Winner and still champion.
Look, we're not talking about every detail of the story here. I'm just a hater.
Hater alert! Hater alert! Hater alert!
Here to spit venom at the parts I hate.
Nigga just mad.
Sounds cool? Let's start. First, and probably the easiest to poke fun at is, why is Batman so stupid in this story? Alright, let's set the stage real quick. Roll clip.
Unlike you, I'm not afraid of dying. I'd rather keep my humanity.
See, Batman in this story is an idiot. I get suspension of disbelief as a thing in storytelling, and it was necessary towards building the story they wanted to tell, but come on, people. Their best idea for killing Batman is him purposely stabbing himself and then blowing himself up despite being right next to the exit. Why even do that, Batman? You know you're killing Ra's al Ghul by doing that, which, is kind of anti-Batman. Is this the DCEU Batman that blows up cars with criminals inside now? Did Mr. Snyder write this script? My mistake. This isn't Batman. It's Bruce. This is Bruce Wayne. This isn't the standard Batman, the one we know and love, consumed by the past and the cowl. He's Bruce Wayne first, and while it's an appreciated version of him, as it highlights him as a bit of a goofy weirdo who has a lot more fun with the Bat family, and is more interested in making sappy speeches about how he's not like the bad guy because he'd rather kill himself than be a villain, despite willingly killing Raj, I might add. The thing Batman doesn't do. Anyway. Even still, he gives up full control in preventing his death and stabs himself. Stabs himself. I know I keep saying it, but it has to be said because he's willingly driving a sword through himself. The sword isn't pointed at him. He's completely defended against it. He doesn't even seem to be struggling with keeping it from coming towards him. But instead, he redirects it into his own stomach just to disarm Ra's al Ghul. Because there was no other way to disarm him, unless he's trying to make a point. Sappy speeches again. But how does anyone who's been doing this by their own lore for 15 years make a decision like that? How many times do you think he got stabbed by Penguin's umbrella for him to just take it and rip it out of his own abdomen and say, "Nice try, Penguin"? Better luck next time. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, don't you think? How many times have he defeated Raj like that? Unless it's in the script. Then it all makes sense and could be forgiven, right? Psst, it doesn't end again. But that's enough of my gripes about Batman here. The rest of the story is fairly decent, with the only real problems being with the main story plots in the beginning point and their terrible decision at the end point. It's crazy too, because a lot of people working on the game spend a lot of time in interviews hyping up the mystery in the main story. Just for it to come out, they were just blowing hot air to hopefully salvage the loss of revenues they were going to take when the game dropped. I don't know what else to say here though, so I'm going to pass the mic to Brave for the rest of this segment. Brave?
Thanks, Val. I'm gonna have to say, after the climactic showdown with Raish, both dying to the rubble, and after that speed through most of their funeral time, Raish having a forced cremation from his daughter Talia, damn, he was crispier than Joker in Arkham Knight, though. Well, Joker was crispier and smiled at least through the process.
Wake up to reality. But each time that I do, just the thought of you makes me stop.
A little dark humor there. Sorry. While Bruce Wayne got a respectable funeral. Anyways, let's scooch to the end where we see that big twist of Talia and the League of Shadows being the real big.
You're out of line, Talia. We had Jacob Kane in custody and you murdered him.
No, we murdered him. The League of Shadows thanks you.
Bads of the game, and them fighting the Court of Owls for sole control of Gotham City, and still enacts their plan of destroying the city and purging it. By Talia making Man-Bat League soldiers and unleashing them on the citizens of Gotham so they could just wreak havoc and chaos, and pretty much you just face them. You know, there's 3 Man-Bat mini-bosses at least. You must go to face Talia after the bosses. I mean, in the form of pretty much facing off against the first guy that died, you know, in the beginning. No, not Raish. Bruce Wayne. Really, Bruce Wayne. Like, he was dipped in the Lazarus pit and now he's come back to life. They really brought him back. But why did he just come back to life though? Talia's plan makes no sense as well. Why bring him back and then strip him of his free will? I mean, then again, she's done this before in other comics and media, but in this type of messy story, it feels tacked on at the last minute. Most of the fan base agrees with the story being messy and kind of a lazy thing to just shoehorn the League versus the Court. I mean, especially when we've already seen the League many, many times before this, and we could have just had the Court of Owls actually be the villains, or have to go against an organization that hasn't been showcased enough, but has been mentioned and touched upon in Arkham City and Arkham Knight. The Order of St. Dumas. They are another cult who wants to purge Gotham, but not by citywide destruction or through Man-Bat commandos, but they'll do it with guerrilla warfare tactics like having ninja soldiers and enacting holy justice, such as killing the elite, corrupt, and repeat offending villains of Gotham, including the Court, who enacts their corrupted methods of controlled justice that has gone too far. But the Order of St. Dumas believes in divine justice and would rather the people be in control than the rich and powerful. The Order would send their angel, Azrael, to finish and carry out their will for divine justice for Gotham City. I think he would have been a better villain and more sympathetic, to say the least, and to the point of him being controlled by the order and his actions wouldn't be his own. Like, but he would be fooled into thinking the order of St. Dumas is right. The Gotham Knights would have had to appeal to him as they would try to help him see that saving Gotham in this way would be the wrong way to go about saving the city, especially by drawing the line and killing criminals without due process, and there being no justice and the actions taken would be too vengeful. It would differentiate who would have to talk to him, like Tim, Dick, Barbara, or even Jason, like talking to him about that enacting that kind of vengeance would be very harmful and detrimental to the people of Gotham City. And please, we got to save it. So hopefully they can convince him that doing what he does is wrong and that the Order of St. Dumas is using him as a weapon for a corrupted form of justice. That's where I truly think the game could have gone, and I feel like the game could have benefited if the League was maybe saved for the sequel after Gotham pretty much is weakened, at least from the shambles of the Court of Owls versus the Order of St. Dumas war. But I digress. We have what we have.
I'm back, and I lied earlier, because I do have more to say. First, what is Bruce's fascination with getting stabbed? Because they revived him, mind-controlled him to fight you, and his first free will decision after being set free is to get stabbed again. He could have just shoved Batgirl out of the way. Why does he keep stabbing himself? Look, it's fine to kill Batman, but it's not fine to make Batman kill himself. At this point, it would have been better to just leave Bruce dead instead of trying to create an emotional climax with a guy you haven't seen for like 20 hours in gameplay. Maybe they could have fixed it by just removing one of his deaths. Remove the beginning game death and just sideline Batman and being the man in the chair, like Oracle. Then you can have all sorts of heartwarming moments with the player throughout the game, and then at the end, kill him. Or remove the death at the end, and leave off with an emotional family reunion with Bruce telling them how proud he is of them all, and maybe even hanging up the cowl afterwards, letting the Gotham Knights know that Gotham is theirs to protect.
Either or works for me than just killing Batman twice. Once is iconic, twice is just padding. But what do you guys think? Did you like the story of Gotham Knights? Did you hate it like I do? Because I'm a hater? Leave a comment down below and tell us what you think. Like and subscribe if you like the video. See ya!